Hello everyone, and you're watching Surgical Utopia. Today we will be discussing about Lefort 2 osteotomy. We have already discussed Lefort 1 osteotomy, and if you wish you can watch the video. I'll give the link in the description or on the cards above the screen. So coming to Lefort 2 osteotomy, it is a rare procedure and it is ideally done to treat nasomaxillary hyperplasia. Right. In Lefort 2 osteotomy, what happens is that there is movement of maxilla, nasal bone, frontal process of maxilla, the orbital rim which is present medial to the infraorbital nerve, and a portion of lacrimal bone will be moved. The cartilaginous septum and vomer bone will also be mobilized. So as I have already said that Lefort 2 osteotomy is done in cases with nasomaxillary hyperplasia. Lefort 2 osteotomy may also be done in cases where there is retrusion of the nasomaxillary complex which results from the malunion or non-treated Lefort 2 fractures, and in cases where there is cleft lip and cleft palate deformity. Also, it can be done in cases in which the individuals are having syndromes such as the Binder syndrome, the Clausen syndrome, and the Apert syndrome. So coming to the surgical technique, the surgical procedure is performed by giving a W-shaped incision on the nasion, and this incision is given in the natural crease line. After the incision is given, dissection will be done through the procerus muscles and periosteum of the bone will be exposed. For Lefort 2 osteotomy, there are two approaches that can be taken. The first approach is the transcaruncular axis with an incision in the medial zone of the caruncle, and the circumvestibular approach, which is done by giving incision in the vestibule of the maxilla 5 mm above the mucogingival junction or superior to mucogingival junction. This circumvestibular incision will extend from the molar region of one side to the molar region of another side, that is contralateral side. So after the incision is given and the bone is exposed, osteotomy cuts will be given. So the first horizontal cut over the nasal bridge is given, which is 2 mm caudal or inferior to the floor of the frontal sinus, and this osteotomy cut will be given inferior to the anterior ethmoidal foramens and artery. After this, the vertical cut will be given, and this vertical cut is given in the orbital floor medial to the infraorbital nerve and foramen. Now, this osteotomy cut will continue in an oblique fashion through the anterior wall of the maxillary sinus until the maxillomalar buttress, that is the zygomatico-maxillary buttress, is reached. And at this point, that is the osteotomy at the zygomatico-maxillary buttress, the anterior osteotomy of the Lefort 2 will be completed. At this point, a 10 mm osteotome will be introduced where the transverse osteotomy was made at the nasofrontal junction, and this osteotome will be introduced in an oblique manner, so be able to disarticulate the cartilaginous septum from the ethmoid bone. The osteotomy with the osteotome is continued in an oblique fashion until the posterior wall of the septum is reached and the bony nasal septum is split at the nasal bridge by a forked septum chisel. At pterygomaxillary junction, the disjunction or the separation is made with the help of a curved osteotome in the junction of the pterygoid process with the posterior wall of the maxilla. After which a Robius forceps will be introduced through the nostrils to perform the mechanical disjunction or separation of the middle third of the face from the cranial base. And when this middle face is separated from the cranial base, the Lefort 2 osteotomy will be completed and the segment will be free to move in whatever position it was pre-planned or pre-operatively planned to move in. So this entire segment is separated through Lefort 2 osteotomy will be repositioned or advanced in a pre-operative planned position, following which an occlusal splint is placed as an occlusal guide and a maxillomandibular fixation is done. Now fixation will be done at the bridge and the maxillomalar buttress or the zygomatico-maxillary buttress. Fixation will be done with the help of 1.5 system L-shaped plate and 1.5 system X-shaped plate along with screws. Finally, closure will be done, and at nasion 5-0 polyglactin suture will be done at the muscular plane, and 5-0 nylon will be used for the suturing of the skin, and at the place where transcaruncular approach was taken, 6-0 polyglactin suture will be done for the closure. Now coming to the complications of LIFO-2 osteotomy, the complications will include hemorrhage due to bleeding from the anterior ethmoidal arteries. Lacrimal drainage system will be disrupted if the osteotomy is made behind the posterior lacrimal crest. Anterior cranial fossa invasion may occur in cases if the osteotomy is made too far behind the posterior lacrimal crest. So we need to remain in the anterior part of the lacrimal bone. And then another complication with LIFO-2 osteotomy is invasion in the frontal sinus in cases if the approach is made above the nasion. Enophthalmos will occur due to orbital osteotomy, which will lead to the increase in the volume of the orbit. Then due to hematoma in the retroconal region, amaurosis may occur, and pseudoarthrosis will occur in cases where there is weak bone fixation. So this was it about LIFO-2 osteotomy. This is a brief overview. I hope you guys liked it, and it's a wrap for now. I'll see you in the next video. So stay tuned to Surgical Utopia. Until then, bye bye and take care.